Look, it's loose. Look at this thing. What's going on, guys? So today is the big day. I'm gonna be installing motor mounts, transmission crossmember, and a transmission mount on my Foxbody. So with that being said, the weather has been a little crazy. Yesterday it was 100 degrees and it was raining, so hopefully it doesn't rain today. I had to bust out my fan because it's so humid outside. Alright guys, so I want to keep the video under 10 minutes, so it's not going to be, this install is not going to be a detailed overview of how to install these, but I'm going to be touching on key points, and if I come across any issues when installing these parts, I'll make sure to talk about it in the video. Let me get the car on jack stands, chalk the back tires, and I think the first thing that I want to do is I want to loosen up the transmission mount, and then from there I want to go down to the motor mounts, loosen those up, and then jack up the engine, remove the motor mounts, and let's see how that goes, guys. Hoping I don't have to remove this. It looks like there's going to be enough room, so I really don't want to remove this because it's a pain in the ass. I loosened up the motor mounts. So these are the main nuts, and the size of the nuts are 13, 16, and for some reason, so these are the ones that hold on to the K-member, and I haven't fully removed the other nuts that are inside the actual engine block. For some reason, there were two different sizes. One nut was 9/16, and the rest of them are 5/8. So the thing is, only one side was bolted, was tight. The other side was finger tight. So one of my engine mounts was loose. Who would have thought? So yeah, guys, what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna loosen up the transmission mount, then I'm gonna raise the engine, and that's it, and then pull the motor mounts out. So far so good, guys. Alright guys, don't mind all the oil and mess, but this side, I don't know if it was this side, I think it was the other side that was completely loose. That's the bolt right there, and that's another bolt right there. For some reason, this is the smaller one right here. I don't know why. It's the only one, and then the rest of them are all the same size. So yeah, let me just get this loosened up and pulled out. I loosened up the transmission mount. So what I did as well is I removed this, so that way the engine has room to move up. But from the looks of it, I think I might have clearance. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a jack stand underneath with that piece of wood right there under the oil pan, support it for a little bit, and then I'm gonna take off the remaining nuts or bolts from the motor mounts, and then they should come out. So I have the engine completely up. It barely cleared the Stita strut tower brace, but I was able to get the old motor mount off. So these motor mounts are side specific. I hope the camera picks it up, but check it out. Look how much bigger these Prothane ones are. And what I noticed is these have the locating tabs, and LMR, the pictures that people posted, they had the locating tabs on the old version, but I guess the new version doesn't have the locating tabs on it. But yeah, here it is, guys. Check it out. This is the new one right here. This is the old one that's completely shot. It's completely broken. The rubber is completely broken inside there. So these look way more flimsy, the metal. This looks way more thicker. So I'm excited to put these in, guys. So this side right here, both of these are the passenger side. So I'm gonna go ahead and install one, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take the driver's side off and put that one in and compare it as well. Check this one out. So this is driver's side motor mount. Look at this. Look at this thing. This thing is falling apart completely. Look, it's loose. Look at this thing. I'm so glad I'm replacing these guys. Look at this.
$2,000 years later.
Alright guys, so it's been at least a couple of hours since I installed, actually a couple hours that it took me to install the brand new motor mounts. And I ran into some trouble because the holes for the bolts, I had trouble aligning them. So I had to keep moving it and bolting it and back and forth. So the only advice I could give you guys is, if you guys want to make it easier for you, I would elongate the holes for the new motor mounts, or you could just try to squeeze them in there like I did. And it took me a long time. It was trial and error. I would put the first bolt in, this one wouldn't align, and then what I did was I put this bolt in first, and then I put the second one in, and everything seemed to align perfectly. So on the driver's side motor mount, it was easier for me to remove the oil filter. So I removed the oil filter, very little oil came out, so it made it that much easier for me to put in the new motor mount. These came out easier because they're smaller, and the new Prothane ones are a little bigger than this, so you need a little bit more room. So those are the issues that I ran into. So now I have to put in the transmission cross member and the transmission mount. Alright guys, so I finally took off the cross member for the transmission. I did not have to take the exhaust off. With a little persuasion and a big ass hammer, I was able to take it off without removing the exhaust. So obviously that's the old one. This is the new one right here. This is the old transmission mount, which was completely torn apart. It's broken. I could move it easily with my hands. And this is the new Prothane one. So what I'm gonna do now is just slither this bad boy under my exhaust, put this on, and then we're gonna go take it out for a test drive. Ran into some issues. I had to elongate these holes right here because they weren't lining up. Actually, this wasn't lining up through the Stifler's cross member. So in order for me to line that up, I elongated these holes right here so it could give me more side-to-side play. I need a little bit, I think I'm off by very little. So that's one of the issues that I have encountered. Guys, so everything is finished. It was such a hassle, but I'm gonna take the car out for a drive. Hopefully everything is good. If it is, I'll let you guys know, and let's go take it out. So it's the next day, and I want to give you guys an overview of all the issues that I came across when installing the motor mounts and the transmission mount and the transmission cross member. So the first thing is the motor mounts. They went in pretty good. The only problem that I had was accessing the holes, or lining up the holes for the actual motor mount and the engine block. So I had issues with that. And if you guys want to make it easier for yourselves, I would elongate the holes on the actual engine mount. I didn't have to do that. I just fiddled with it for about 20-30 minutes each side, and I was able to put the fasteners on, and everything went in smoothly. The hardest engine mount to actually put in was the driver's side. The driver's side gave me problems because the oil filter was in the way. So as soon as I removed the oil filter, the driver's side engine mount went in smoothly. I lined everything up. I put the fasteners in, and everything was great. So as for the Stifler's transmission cross member, it's a great unit. Everything went in smoothly. The only issue I had was with the actual transmission mount. So my transmission mount was from Prothane, And the issue that I had was the actual holes weren't aligning with the actual transmission. So what I had to do is I had to mess with this. I had to elongate these, drill these out a little bit, and that went in. After I did all this stuff, everything lined up. So one thing that Stiflers provides with the kit, their cross member, are these spacers right here. So the instructions stated that I had to use one spacer if I was running a polyurethane mount with no drive shaft loop. So I did that, but the bolts that were provided from Prothane, they were too small. And so what I did was I ran it yesterday and I felt terrible vibration. And I'm assuming this caused it because my angle, my drive shaft angle was messed up and my exhaust moved for some reason. So my exhaust was hitting under the underside of the car. And then today I removed this spacer and then I aligned all my exhaust. And after I did that, I took the car off for a drive and the car feels that much better. All right, the way I want to end this video is by saying that the car is running great, feels good. But if you guys are having issues with vibration right now, the polyurethane motor mount and the transmission mount is only going to make it worse. So I feel a little bit vibration, but not as bad as some people make it seem. So my transmission has seen better days. So I'm pretty sure if my transmission was rebuilt, I wouldn't feel the vibration that I do. So do I recommend it? It's up to you. It's really your call. If you guys are picky about vibrations in your car, I would suggest you guys just go with a rubber mount instead of a polyurethane mount. But other than that, the car, it feels great. It feels like it handles good. That's it, guys. If you guys have any questions, please comment below, like the video, and that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Talk to you guys later. Peace.